What is going on, my amazing Disney family? Today's video, we're going to be answering all of the frequent questions that everyone has when it comes to Disney dining. And make sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to be giving you some insider secrets on how to make your time with dining the most magical time that it can be. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first frequent question that most people have is, how does the Disney dining work? How it works is that it is labeled as being a rotational dining because it does just that. Basically what happens is that upon arrival, you are going to get an itinerary that is going to tell you your rotation. Everybody on the cruise gets their own rotation, which is basically going to tell them on which night, which dinner they're going to have. It also will include your breakfast. So ultimately, you are going to have a location each night that's going to be different so that everybody can have the ability to experience the different atmospheres that are going to be on the Disney cruise, because as you probably are aware, each cruise has different actual dining rooms that are themed and they are amazing. You also are going to have your wait staff rotate with you along your entire cruise, which is amazing because it's going to be so much more personable. They're going to get to know all of the things that you love and like, and it just makes the dining experience that much better. It actually is amazing because by the end of the cruise, they pretty much are reading your mind as far as what you actually are going to order. They do a great and phenomenal job at making the dining experience so much more better. Now, this rotational dining is included in your package, so you do not need to pay anything extra. You don't need to pay for any of the meals there. That is going to be included in what you pay to get on the Disney cruise. Another frequent question a lot of people ask is, can they add any additional reservations, and do they have to go to those rotational dinners? The answer is yes, you can book any additional reservations like Palo or Remy's, and you do not have to go to your scheduled dining reservation. When you are on the Disney cruise, you're going to notice that there's going to be little different pop-up restaurants that are all along the ship that you are more than welcome to go and have lunch or dinner there. You do not have to stick to your schedule. You're not going to get punished. This is your vacation. You get to do what you want, and Disney does an amazing job at that. So if you ended up not wanting to go to a certain dining reservation because maybe you don't really like that particular one, by all means, you can go to Cabanas and go to the buffet on the ship. You can go to any one of the shops that are on the top deck and get a little quick bite to eat. You can do anything that you want, so you do not have to be stuck to that reservation. Now, I did want to point out to you that when you are making those extra reservations for dining, it is going to be available for you to book at a certain time depending upon your Castaway membership. Now, this Castaway Club membership is going to be dependent upon how many cruises that you have gone on. So if it's your first time on the Disney cruise, you will have your availability to book that reservation 75 days prior to the sailing date. If you are a Silver Castaway Club member, you'll be able to book it 90 days in advance. If you are a Gold Castaway Club member, you'll be able to book it 105 days in advance. And if you are a Platinum Castaway member, you will be able to book it 125 days prior to your sailing date, which I think all of us want to get to that prestigious level. Ultimately, it's good to be aware of those because you want to make sure that you are booking your reservations as soon as you can, because everyone is going to book their things, and if they get booked up, you can't really get in. I mean, if there is some cancellations, maybe you'll be able to walk in, but for the most part, with my experience, they get jammed up and are completely booked by the time you get on the ship. The next frequent question is, what time is dinner served? And there's going to be two specific times when dinner is served. For US sailing, main dining starts at 5:45 p.m. and the secondary dining starts at 8 p.m. Now, for any European sailings, the first dining is going to be about 5:45 and then the second dining is going to be about 8:30. When it comes to these two dining options, you can select which ones you want. This is going to happen on your Disney Cruise app. You can go in and select which one you want to actually have. I do want to point out that when you are making the selection, be aware of all the different things that you actually want to do on your cruise. If you are someone like us who likes to do a lot of excursions and, wants to be exploring, you might not want to do the early dining because what we experienced is that we have to end up rushing a lot of times because we're just so immersed in what's going on, and we really want to go to dinner tonight, and we end up having to rush to try to get to that dinner because that's our specific seating. So if you are somebody who is going to want to explore, if you have a lot of things that you think you want to do, you might want to do the later time. And in my personal opinion, there is so many options for you to grab a quick bite and to kind of hold you off. So I know you might not be used to that later dining, but I can tell you that as you go along, you're probably going to see that you're not actually as hungry throughout the time you're there because you've been eating so much, and that you might be able to actually push it along towards the second dining. So I would highly recommend you making sure that when you're choosing your dining reservation time, you use those considerations to actually pick which time is going to be best for you. So this is Tynell from the future, and I realized that I left out a big kind of tip for you because I think all of us might run into this, and that is if you find that you're having some complications with something that you've previously booked and you're dining, you actually can let them know and they will do an amazing job to try to accommodate for you. So if you end up realizing that early, the better. Just let them know. You can call them on your phone in the stateroom and just let them know that you have a complication, and they will try to work around it with your servers. So with that covered, let's get back to the video. Another frequent question that ties into this is how long is the dining experience for these reservations? Typically, you would see about 90 minutes from the beginning to end is what usually you see people have. There's a lot of different things that is going on. There's entertainment. There's you actually eating the food and selecting it. So even though right now it sounds like a very long time, you end up getting lost in the actual experience and what's going on. So don't be afraid that it's way too long. And of course, if you end up finishing your food quickly, you can go ahead and leave if you wanted to. How it works is that when you are sitting down, your server is going to give you a menu, and pretty much you're going to order everything that you want. I know for some of us people who struggle to make decisions, this might sound scary, but ultimately they give you enough time to kind of look through everything, and there's not a crazy amount of stuff that's on each menu for each night. They're very kind of specific to the theme, and you'll pretty much know for the most part what you want. And if anything, just order as many as you want, because at the end of the day, you're on the cruise, which is kind of a little bit of a secret that's I'm going to give you right now that I was gonna save to the end, but you all are amazing and you deserve that. So just keep that in mind when you're going through that process. Again, don't worry about it. There is going to give you enough time, and they're going to allow you to have your full experience. I'm telling you guys, they are amazing, but that is ultimately what goes on when it comes to that. Another frequent question is that, does Disney Cruise offer any dietary meals for anyone? And yes, they do. They have every single type of dietary needs that you might have. They, again, will go above and beyond and trying to make sure that you get exactly what you need when you're going on the cruise. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but I promise you it is beyond taking care of you. They are going way beyond your expectations. They're going to do everything that needs to be done in order for you to have the best time that you can. So if anyone has any dietary needs, do not worry about it. They have everything there and they will accommodate you with that. The next thing is about alcohol. Now, Disney Cruise is a little bit different than other cruises as far as that goes. And the first thing is that they do not offer a drinking package. So a lot of other cruises like your Royals, your Carnivals, you can get a drinking package if you want there. But with the Disney Cruise, you pay per drink. Another thing that I didn't know before going on the cruise is that you actually can bring alcohol on with you. You have a limit as to what you can bring. You can bring 2 bottles with you on your actual cruise. So if you wanted to bring your own champagne or whatever it might be to celebrate, you can do that. But ultimately, if you did want to get alcohol on the ship, they have so many different areas and bars and cool immersive bars in that you can go ahead and get any drink that you want to help celebrate your amazing vacation. Now, like I touched upon earlier, there is the availability for you to actually go to some of these different rotational dining rooms to have lunch or breakfast. The ones that you can do that are the Royal Palace, the Enchanted Garden, the Royal Court, the Enchanted Garden, Lumiere's, or Triton's. Now, on your actual itinerary, it is going to tell you which one of those you have available to you on your specific day. So you can go ahead and go to those. What most people end up doing is going to Cabanas. But if you are somebody who wants to have breakfast and have like a specialty dining experience in one of those, you can go ahead and do that as well. Another thing that I want to point out, which is amazing and I don't think a lot of people talk about or even know, is that you have available to you room service for 24 hours, except for the last day, which is going to be only available to you until 1:30. This is included in what you've already purchased. So if you're somebody who just wants to relax, you've had such a long day, or you don't really feel like going to an actual place to eat in front of everybody, you just want to chill in your room, you can go ahead and order room service whenever you want and have your food being brought up to you and enjoy it at your own leisure in your room. I didn't really take advantage of this when I was on the cruise because everything was so new to me, but potentially on our next cruise we might actually do that because we're going to be on it for 7 days. If you want to utilize this for whatever reason, you have it available to you. Now, like I said earlier, I had some little secrets for you that I learned along the way that I think is going to help you to make your dining experience even more magical. So let's get right into those. The first one is that you can eat as many entrees as you want. When I say that, I mean it. You can order as many of them as you want. You can get anything that you want that's on the menu. Like, go crazy. Do not hold yourself back or feel awkward. Everybody does it. It's what you've paid for. So make sure if you see something on the menu that you want and you see something else that you want and you're stuck between the two, get them both. Get them both. They are enough portions a lot of the times that you can finish both of them, or if you don't, that's okay too. Please, please, please make sure that you are taking advantage of that, because if you're like me, I'm so indecisive sometimes about what to pick, and that is like a dream come true for me. The next thing is that you can actually request other entrees from different dining rooms. This is something that I wasn't aware of, but if you are someone who maybe you had something that was amazing, that was an entree, in another dining room, and you're looking at the menu and you really, really don't like what's on there, you can go ahead and do that, and your amazing wait staff is going to go and get that for you. So don't worry if you feel like there's nothing that you want. Just ask your server if you can have that instead, and most likely they will make it happen for you. And the last secret that I want to give you to make sure, which you've probably already heard, but I want to emphasize this, is to make sure that you bring some kind of formal outfit. A lot of people mistake in this because it's the last thing that you want to bring on a cruise, right? You want to make sure you're bringing your shorts, your swimsuit, and all the different things that you need, and no one really thinks about this, but Disney is strict about that when it comes to having your formal wear when you are going to a dining reservation or even potentially some kind of social event with drinking or anything like that. So just make sure to save yourself and bring a formal outfit so that you'll have it available. Nobody cares if you wear it multiple times. Just make sure that you have it, so that way you are taking care of that before you are going into their dining, because they will stop you and ask you to have some kind of formal wear. I'm also going to include in the link below a link to the different types of reservations that you can add as an extra for you as well. So it is pretty awesome because you can just go ahead and select the ship that you're going to be on, the sailing day, and it will give you the different options that you can select. So definitely have that available for you, because then you can start make those selections before they get all booked up. So with that being said, you are now an expert on Disney cruise dining, and I know that this is going to help you hopefully have the most magical dining experience that you have. If you have any questions, please make sure to comment them below. I'd be more than happy to answer them, and I'll even make another video if there's enough questions there as well. If you did like this video, please make sure to give it a like, as it's going to push it out to more amazing people like you who may have questions about dining. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next one.